Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 117. I'm here with Ken, SSKPromo, Mr. Bill. I'm Cory
What's
from
up?
Grams and Pops Vintage, and it is fall, Ken.
It is. I still have my decorations up from last show. We did the live. Last week we did the live, so it's
We
been a
did.
little bit since we've been on here. And
It's been cold here. It's been getting into the 40s and 50s every night, overnight. My flowers are all dying. Like everything's falling. The trees are getting empty. It
we're
is officially fall.
it is well, the temperatures have been in the mid 70s here, but we've been getting rain that was pushing up from the
Oh, the hurricane.
hurricane
I
Elena
see
or
a lot
whatever.
of people, a lot of resellers are affected by that. Of course, all the resellers
Yes.
live in Florida and Ohio, so
And everywhere in between there, it's raining now.
yep.
It's yeah, because we had went for like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and we didn't have nary a drop of rain, and the grass was just dead,
Yeah, it's been
and which
dry
was
here.
cool because I didn't have it mowed since like the Tuesday before Labor Day, and
We mowed since then, but
so
only like once. You're right.
it's
Yeah, everything just kind of dried up and burned off, which is a good thing. I don't like mowing that much.
but we're getting this rain now, and it only took like 2 days, and the grass is green, and now it's I have to mow it, but it's raining every day. So
Oh no,
hopefully that'll push out of here.
everything's dying around here. The only thing that's still green that for some reason, like hollyhocks are supposed to bloom like midsummer ish,
Okay.
and mine are like just now getting flowers on them as the rest of the plant around the flowers are dying. So late bloomers.
You have a lopsided garden over there. It sounds
Yeah, it ain't
like
looking right.
hollyhocks. What do hollyhocks look like? I don't even know what hollyhocks are. That they
Let's see.
were.
I might have a picture. They're kind of a cool flower, but they get pretty big.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see if
don't
I got a
know.
picture here. This is riveting content. Here we go. See if
Okay,
we can.
let's see. That's not okay. Oh yeah, I've seen those. I just didn't know what they were
So,
called. I
they
didn't
come
know
in on all different kinds of colors, but I just got the one flower that came up, just pink flowers.
what. So, Cory, you notice I'm all dressed up today, and by
Did you
dressed
do
up
that for
means
me?
I put on my polo shirt, and I go,
You
oh,
got
I
a
got
collar.
my nice leather hat that I wear
Well,
to
I'm
funerals
dressed.
and stuff. So no, we're kind of a little bit of celebration, if you will. We determined, just kind of looking back, that this is
No,
Cory's like, well, 1 year
well,
anniversary,
52nd
50
pre-recorded
second,
episode.
yes, of regular recorded episodes. This is so we've done some lives and we've done some other special stuff. So it's actually more than 52 episodes. But so
Yep.
if you count it
And
by
I put in my
weeks,
2 week notice right before the
he
show in
did.
the back room.
So yeah, 52nd episode is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um,
That time went by fast, didn't it? It doesn't
it
seem like
did.
52nd
It did for
episode.
sure. Yeah. So hey, congratulations, welcome. We'll see where we go from here. We
Yay.
should have done a live. We should have done another live, Cory, for your
Oh God.
special 50
No.
second, because we love the lives over here. And by we, I mean
You
I
mean
love the
me?
lives.
Just you.
Yes.
I don't mind the lives. The lives aren't that bad. They're a lot more. There's a lot more pressure in a live than there is here because you're trying to pay attention to a lot more. Usually when we do the pre-recorded podcasts, they're pretty
Yeah.
low key for me. They're really easy because I don't have to
Yeah.
talk. I just let Ken go. And they're really easy. But during a live, you got the chat, you got a lot going on.
Yes. Yeah,
So
there's
they
a lot
are
more
a bit
pressure
more hectic.
on Cory to be entertaining, and that's not
And
your
every
strong
now and then
suit.
I curse a bit. So with these, I can cut it out. With a live,
True.
like somebody's just got to go to church an extra day that week. Right?
I enjoyed the live last week, though. The fall,
It was
the
fun.
bringing the ringing in of the autumnal equinox, and
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
and
As far as
just
live
a
goes, it wasn't terrible.
quick shout out. We did a couple of giveaways, so shout out to Mary McQueen and Chris Cajun Reseller, who won the giveaway from the Disgruntled Octopus. One
Okay.
had given away because he was on with us a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
And
He got the book, and Mary got the bag of corn candy, which was
Yes.
a great giveaway.
yes, for the taste of oh no, you know what is the taste of fall, Cory? Right here in my cup
Oh
right
God,
now.
this is back. What do we got in there today?
I got the mix of apple cider and Coke Zero. This is from Apple Hill Orchard. Shout out to Apple Hill. Jill got this for me. I don't know why I brought it in here. I just wanted to show
Pretty
that.
half empty. You've been hitting it pretty hard over there already.
I have been. I have, drinking this one before it turns hard. Some of those after I've drank so much Coke Zero, they start to get a little bit fermented, if you will. But I love apple cider mixed with my Coke Zero. It is the taste of fall for me. More so than the candy corns.
When I hear that, I gag a little. Like, it doesn't sound like it would be good, but I've never tried it, so I can't say for certain. But that does not sound like something. Well, one, I don't like Coke Zero at all.
Okay. Well, there you go.
And apple cider, that's a very once in a while. Like, that's a small glass every once in a great while. It's not something I could drink very often.
Okay. See, I love both. Both either straight Coke Zero, straight apple cider. You mix them together. Oh, man, I have another product.
I like both hot dogs and ice cream, but I wouldn't think to put them together.
Well, yeah, I guess not all things are a good combo to go together. I do have another product to taste test. Another product to taste test on the air.
Okay.
Yes. So, maybe we could get them for. So you don't like the Coke Zero, but no. Jill brought this over. Coke Zero Oreo. It's supposed to be like, I don't know.
You're an adventurous eater.
Oreo flavor.
You like trying new tastes, don't you?
Well, sometimes. I mean, I do this whole thing that I am an adult and I don't have to eat anything that I don't want to, because I'll just go buy something.
Says the guy that eats mac and cheese diet.
Well, hey, that's good for you. That's good for you. It's got the dairy in it. It's got the pasta group. Is pasta one of the 4 food groups?
You can't promote Kraft mac and cheese on every third episode and then say you have a sophisticated adult palate, Ken. It doesn't work.
Well, this is well, but I didn't say I had an adult palate. I said I'm an adult and I don't have to. Hence, I've never eaten guacamole because why?
Never?
No, never. Because I'm an adult and I don't have to. But I'm going to try this Coke Zero Oreo right here on the air. I'm going to open this
I can't even imagine what that would taste like. Does it smell like Oreo?
No. It smells like diet soda. Like, you know how diet soda kind of has that
gross smell?
Like a tinny, like, smells like aluminum. Okay, so the first taste here.
For those of you listening, this is Ken drinking out of a bottle of Oreo Coke Zero.
It's not bad. It's I'm not like spitting this
that just
back
means
out.
Not good.
Well, I tell you what, I just have this one little 20 ounce, or is this a 20 ounce? Yeah, I have this one little 20 ounce bottle right here. This is probably going to be the last one that I drink.
That's good.
I can't see me drinking this on the regular.
You think you'll finish it?
Oh yeah, I'll finish it. And actually, okay. See how the Coke Zero cider thing got started is in my cup here. Like when it starts to get like down, Jill calls this my emotional support cup, by the way, because I'm never more than like an arm's length away from this thing. And whenever it starts to get a little bit like down, I panic, like I'm not going to have enough to drink. And so I'm constantly refilling it. But so when I get apple cider or whatever, the apple cider, and it say the glass is still half full with cider or Coke Zero, I just filled it up with cider. Thought, let's see what that tastes like. And it was great. And so I'm pretty sure here at some point today after the show or whatever, I'm going to have a combo of Coke Zero Oreo and with cider? Apple cider and regular Coke Zero. But Coke
all
Zero
I'm hearing
lemonade,
is you're not real picky about what you put in your mouth. That just sounds gross.
There's a whole nother
yeah, this is why show. We steer away from the lives.
Yeah, yeah. But happy anniversary, Cory.
Well, thank you.
We'll get into the meat of the show, and I couldn't get Cory to do a live for his 52nd episode.
No.
But we do have lives coming up
We do.
because it's
Several.
almost October. And so we will be getting into the holiday live tour shows at the end of October.
Halloween
series
being the
of
first.
4 shows and Halloween and Thanksgiving.
We don't know the
Christmas,
dates yet,
and New
though.
Year's.
We got to iron that out.
Yes, we do. So we know and we can announce that and get some guests lined up. We always like to have guests, and I can prepare some games and stuff like that to do. But
those are always fun.
Yeah, I always enjoy doing the games. But it is almost October.
Oh,
something else is what?
For those lives, the holiday live tours, guys, we're going to make a plea right here.
Okay.
During those lives, bring your credit card. We need super chats because StreamYard is doubling their price.
Are they really?
They are. StreamYard's going to double their prices. I think they could take effect like this coming month, like in October.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't hear
bring your
this.
credit card. Huh?
I didn't hear this.
Oh, you got to check your email once in a while.
Well, I do check my email, but I didn't see that.
Yeah, StreamYard made the announcement they're doubling their prices, so we're going to need those super chats more than ever.
Yes. Or what's going to happen is every episode is just going to have that little StreamYard logo up in the corner.
We might have to go to the free version.
Just go to free version because we're not making any money off. We did gain a number of subscribers.
We did.
After we've been doing this like 2.5 years or 3 years or hell, I don't know how many is 117.
People start watching in the hopes that the show will progressively get better, and that's just not something we do.
We've just been dismally disappointing in that regard.
We put very little effort into this.
And it shows. And it shows in the subscribers. Yeah, that's funny. But okay, if Corey's not into the lives as far as doing the live shows, and it is October I said it was October. Something else. Well, it's not coming up in October, but you can start to prepare for it here in October.
Oh, the Ultimate Live, right?
The Ultimate Live is a meetup, and so
we can announce it right here. We're the first to announce. Profit.
Yes,
Planes to Profit, March 28th and 29th in 2025. So coming up here, it's about 179 days away from today.
Okay.
Tickets go on sale the day this releases. So if you're watching this, the tickets are available.
Yes.
And there's only 50 tickets available this year. We're not going above that so that we can make sure everybody can get on the party bus, and we have room limitations. So those will be on sale quickly. They'll be on sale when you watch this.
Probably had more than 50 requests already, or interest, or people that are wanting to get
We've
this.
had quite a few. Like there's quite a few people that were wanting to pre-reserve their tickets. So I don't think the tickets are going to stick around a long time this year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sell out pretty quick.
And you weren't really pre-reserving once the site opens up, which it should be opened up right now. So, okay, pause this podcast right now if you're listening.
Yes. And snag a ticket.
Yes, because they will go quick.
It's going to be a good event this year.
79 days. It's only like 86 days, 87 days till Christmas, Corey.
You're right.
So, if you want to shop early, see, there you go. If you want to shop early,
there you go.
And someone that wants to go to Planes to Profit, go on there, buy their ticket, Christmas shopping, done.
Yep.
Done for that person.
Or buy yourself a Christmas gift.
Yeah, that's always good. Stuff your own stocking. Stuff your own stocking.
Stuff your own stocking.
I'm going to go on to the site right now because, see, I already know. I've got pre-knowledge that it's going to be up. So when I get up in the morning tomorrow, because we're recording this, I'm going to buy like half of the tickets, and then I'm going to give them out to trick-or-treaters.
You resell them?
Yeah, I'm going to, yes. I'm just going to hand them out to trick-or-treaters when they come. And so you're going to get like maybe 25 resellers and then a bunch of children. And then a bunch of children that show up because I'm
a bunch of children on a party bus. That could be interesting.
That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen is what it sounds like, Corey.
No, actually, you have to be 21 to get on the party bus. We had to actually make one special exception last year for our youngest, Hannah, who was 18 at the time.
Yes.
Because she was our videographer, and you weren't allowed on the party bus unless you were 21. So
okay.
And you are allowed to bring a cooler onto the party bus, but I don't think anybody did because we took the party bus from thrift store to thrift store and we just went thrifting on it. And it was a lot of fun, but nobody really had time to sit and drink.
And
but
that was that's a rule that was a rule that was implemented though by the
bus.
party bus company, by the bus company. That wasn't a planes to profit rule. So
it's
don't
a pretty,
show up with
pretty
your
reasonable
teenage
rule.
child and or all you trick-or-treaters out there that are going to show up. You're not getting on the party bus. You have to get your own.
You can attend the rest of the event though.
The wheels on the bus go round and round. You could get like, oh, you guys should hire a babysitter then. Well, the party bus is gone back at the hotel.
It's a pretty kid-friendly event. I mean, it doesn't get real wild. There's not anything crazy going on. Most of the events that are hangout events, I mean, if you've got your own kid with you, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah. And buy them a ticket.
Yes.
Right. As long as they have a ticket. So planestoprofit.com. Sales for tickets are on right now. If you're listening to this, like I say, just pause. You can come back. We're not going to do anything stellar in this program the rest of the time that you need to
Reseller
hang out and wait
for. The Reseller Clickbait Podcast was the first supporter of the event this year. We were number one. We are supporters of the event. And if you want to become a sponsor or a supporter, that you can find that on the website too, Planes to Profit.
Yes.
Get in touch with us and we can tell you all about that. But we've got us, Reseller Clickbait Podcast, supporting. American Bubble Boy is a sponsor. We've got a few other sponsors in the works.
Excellent.
We've got Shane, Soda City Flips, is a supporter.
Cool.
Flippin' Fantastic Podcast is a supporter.
Okay.
And two old guys at Caleb and Josh, two old guys reselling podcast.
Excellent.
They're supporters. So we've got a good
mix
lineup of supporters and stuff already.
Yeah, that's cool. And you need the supporters to put on an event like this.
Yep.
It can't all come out of your pocket, and the ticket prices are low. That allows you to be able to come to the event, but not all of that covers everything. So
the tickets
having those extra supporters,
they help, but they don't cover much. Without the sponsors, we would struggle.
Yes, for sure. So that's cool, and got that coming up. And
that'll be fun.
What else? New news do we have that we need to cover before we really get into the meat of the reselling discussion? Which probably we don't really have any meat.
No,
we have mostly.
Did you watch?
We have
eBay
mostly
Open?
Beverages. I did not. Did you watch it?
We did. We watched a bunch of it, not all of it. That was disappointing. It was okay. It wasn't great. Like I think the part where we just tuned out and said, "Okay, we're done. We're not watching another minute of this," was kind of on the second day during one of their keynotes. They had the eBay Trust guy, like the head of trust at eBay up there.
All right.
And he asked the lady he was interviewing, what's top of mind right now? Like, what's your biggest issue with eBay right now?
Okay.
And she said, without even hesitation, she said, the biggest issue right now is Vero. Like, a company can just say that you're selling a counterfeit and you're not allowed to sell it, and eBay takes it down. And our recourse as a reseller is we have to contact that company and prove that it's not, and then they can let us sell it again. But the companies just ignore you because they don't want you to sell their stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And his answer to that was, yeah, but automatic payments are working well. And he just deflected. He just completely went a different direction. He didn't even address it at all. And I was like, and you're the head of trust. That was the biggest political answer ever. Like, what a jag-off.
What are you selling, though, from the person who was interviewed? What are you selling, though, that Vero is your biggest problem with eBay right now?
She's a charity, kind of like a Goodwill, but a local charity. So they get a ton of donations of clothes and bags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So every time they list a bag, that say they list a Vera Bradley, and Vera Bradley decides they don't want them to sell it, they'll Vero it. Now Vera Bradley's not. Typically they won't, but some of the higher end bags and stuff like that, apparently they get a lot of Veros for luxury items, clothing and shoes and stuff like that. And there's really no recourse. And we get Veros. I mean, we've had several Veros in the past from companies that you have a legit item, but you can't prove it because you didn't buy it with a receipt. You didn't buy it from them.
Yes.
So you have zero recourse. You just have to take it down.
You know that I remember I have never had an item taken down by eBay as a
No,
Vero or um for I guess for any reason. I don't know. So I
I
haven't
think it
experienced
depends on
Vero
what
is the
you're.
last thing on my mind now. The list of Vero products is so
It's crazy.
extensive and you can't understand all the stuff. But I know all of the things, I'm not going to put that this has a Velcro closure, or I'm not going
Yep.
to have some, the main ones. I'm not going to sell the beach body stuff, like P90X. And although I did sell way back in when I first started, I did sell a P90X, but it sold
Well,
so quick.
you have some companies that are just over the top with that stuff, though. I mean, like
Yeah.
OtterBox is a great example. If I
Yes.
buy an OtterBox phone case, it doesn't matter if it's real or if I bought it from them or not. Like, you just can't sell it. They'll Vero it as soon as it's
Yeah.
listed.
As soon
Like,
as
there's
the title
companies
comes
like
up.
that, and there's quite a few of them. So I think it depends on what you're selling, like
Yeah.
what niche you're selling in. I think if you're a charity and you're taking a lot of donations, like Goodwill or something,
Yeah.
your chance of, because of the mass amount of listings you're doing with the variety of brands, you
Yeah.
stand a pretty good chance of having that be an issue.
I guess I don't sell good enough. I don't
Yeah,
source good
you're not
enough
getting a lot of
products.
luxury.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of items that anybody wants in the first place, let alone for some company to Vero me and
Yeah, I
take it
wouldn't
down.
say
Or
Vero is a major problem for us.
no,
I mean, we've kind of learned how to skirt it, is more why it's not a
yeah,
problem.
well, yeah,
But just stay away from certain brands. But one, you shouldn't have
yes,
to, and two, that wasn't even my problem with. My problem with it was the way he answered it,
yeah,
how he just deflected away from it and pretty much ignored it as a problem. Like, that's not a good look for eBay.
no, not at all. And how well are the automatic payments? I mean, that's not everybody's doing that. I still get offers and things like that
We
that
don't have any issue with
are
that
not.
lately. It's
No,
been
I
pretty
haven't.
good. We don't have a lot of non-payments or anything.
No, I don't think I've had any non-payments for quite a while. So I was
I
sure
wish we
when you
could get
first
paid
said that,
more.
yeah, exactly. When you said what was your biggest, well, the question was what was your biggest problem with
Well,
eBay,
what's
and so my
yours?
brain started to think, you know,
Listing?
well, that's a personal problem, not my own personal problem. Well, I do think that it is if you have good stuff if you don't list, and I understand that you got to list consistently, you got to be listing this, you got to keep activity in your store, you got to keep going. But boy, you go for a day or two or whatever, and where you're not listing, and eBay just treats you like a second class citizen. It's just like,
Yeah, you get crushed.
this guy's nobody's seen. But I always know, okay, if I get back in and I start listing, even if I list 1 or 2 or 3 days in a row, boom, all of a sudden I start
Yep.
getting the sales, and it's right there. It's like, man, okay, really, eBay? I'm not,
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
why that's the
understand they're
case.
there to make money, and that the algorithm, they want people that are active, that are putting stuff up, because the more that you sell, the more that eBay is going to make as well. But okay, I still have the products that I had up there 2 days ago that I listed, and I
That would have
didn't
been a
list for
good
2 days, and
that
you
would have been
shut.
a good thing to bring up. Though they wouldn't have answered that either.
Oh no,
They would have said,
they,
"Yeah, but how about those automatic payments?"
yeah, and I
Now
like
we've
getting
been
paid right
well, we
away.
list, like, we list $500 a day. Actually, we've bumped it.
Yeah.
We're trying to do six consistently. We don't always hit it,
Okay.
but we're trying to do $600 a day in listings, 7 days a week, all year long.
Yeah.
And we've hit this plateau that we just can't seem to get past. Like, we used to do
Okay.
more sales than we're doing now at one point, but
Okay.
now we've just kind of leveled out where we're doing, maybe 10 or 12,000 a month in sales, and we
Uh-huh.
just can't seem to break out of it. Like, no matter how much we list, we've got over 3,800 items on the store now. So we're
Okay.
we're
Wow.
listing, and
Yeah.
we've just hit that plateau where it doesn't matter how much we list. Like, it doesn't seem like eBay is letting us sell any more than that. Once we hit
Okay.
that, we'll bottom out for like 2 days in a row where we hit like $40 in sales, and that just
Yeah.
never happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we got to do to break through that next ceiling, but it seems like we've just kind of stagnated right there in that 10 to 12 a month range, and
Okay.
we haven't been able to break out of it. Like, we're trying everything to break out of that.
So what kind of things are you trying? I mean, what are the options to be able to potentially boost your store, or your sales, or
we've tried the email marketing stuff, like sending out to our store subscribers and stuff. And past buyers. We've tried the running discounts on the store. We've tried coupons. We've tried listing more. Like we've tried listing better quality, faster moving stuff. Like when we're picking a death pile, we tried to be picky and take just the really good stuff to see if we could jump those sales. Like nothing, it doesn't seem to matter what we do. We just can't seem to break out of that rut. And I'm not complaining. Like it's not, that's not a terrible sales number, but it's not where we want to be. Like we're actively trying to grow still. And it just seems like they've kind of just leveled us out. And for the past 3-4 months, we just can't seem to stretch above that mark.
Yeah. Do you think it's a thing of they're wanting more for promotion or something like that? They want to get more from you to be able to push your store more, or
like part of me says, don't jump down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. Like eBay's not making me not sell more. There's just something we haven't figured out more. And then part of me is like, damn it, eBay. Why? Because we have the product. We have so much product and it's good stuff. And we run sales and we do all the things. And, we sit down probably once a month, Teresa and I sit down and we actually talk about it. What can we do? We don't care if we grow our sales. Like these numbers are kind of arbitrary, the 10 to 12 a month. That's great. But the only thing we really care about is how much of that is actually profit. So what could we do to get more that's coming back in every month? And we're pretty active about trying new things and trying to grow that, because we're convinced we're not anywhere close. Like we're maybe half of where we want to be as far as eBay sales. And I know it's possible. We haven't cracked the code yet. We don't know what the answer is.
It sounds like you're doing all of at least what you have at your disposal, the coupons and the email marketing and doing promotions and different sales. It sounds like you're, unless you
if somebody
get
has
into a different
trick,
product line.
If somebody's got the trick to this, throw it in the comments. We're willing to try.
They're probably not going to tell you, Cory. They're going to be like, if I tell Cory, well, they should.
I won't tell nobody. I won't tell nobody.
But throw it down in the comments and we won't tell anybody. Just
if you don't want to put it in the comments, you could send it to grabsandpopsvintage@gmail.com. Just tell me and I'll keep it a secret, I promise. Until the next episode.
And then we'll go, hey, this person reached out. We won't tell your name.
No, we're stretched thin on that. We're at the end of our ideas for trying new things. And
I haven't tried anything. I haven't listed that much on eBay. I have inventory. I have inventory out my wazoo, Cory. My wazoo is leaking inventory.
A leaky wazoo is always a bad problem.
I've always said
that's why we're sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Yes, that's right. Oh, look, I have a mini pack. I have a travel pack of Dude Wipes right there beside me.
You need the mega pack for a leaky wazoo.
I haven't done. I keep talking about this. I've just been busy with so many different irons in the fire and stuff, and been doing a lot more on whatnot. And like last week, for example, we did 5 shows in 4 days, and they were all different types of shows. So every day, or the day before, or whatever, you're preparing for that next show. You're having to list different types of items for each show, and get
I almost bet that you do more shipping than I do.
Well, I don't know, because I get it within the shows. You get people that are buying multiple items because orders, you're offering, the reduced shipping and things like that. And so, you may sell 50 items in a show, but you only end up having, say, 15 packages to send out, something like that. So, with multiple buyers and there's, all the different strategies over there. And we're still growing that. Some of the shows we list and we sell out everything that we were doing. And
Ooh,
then
you
the
just gave
next
me an
show.
idea.
Oh, what
You
was it?
have some pretty loyal customers over on Whatnot that buy from you over and over again.
I do. Yes.
I could throw you a 20 if you tell them to come to the Grams and Pops eBay shop and buy more of my stuff because I'm trying to grow.
Okay. I'll get my, do you offer local pickup? Well, I
Yeah, at your
guess.
post office.
that
See,
that's
I'm
actually
willing to buy marketing on the
a great.
SSK promo Whatnot.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot bigger channels there. Yeah, we're growing that. We've, recently, in last month, got over the 1,000 followers. We got over the
Yep.
1,000 sales, which was cool. But the different types of show, and we were talking a little bit before the show here about, building the brand over there. And when you're doing all of the different types of shows,
That's
if
more
you're
difficult.
selling, we did say a Foodie Friday show where we're selling, lots of snacks and lots of food and local things like that. And then the next show might be all, say, garage sale or storage unit find items. And the next sale is all Halloween stuff. When
Yeah.
you're doing those
Well, I think
specific sorts of shows.
you kind of are facing
Yeah.
the same problem that most eBay everything sellers face. And that is when you sell everything, it's very difficult to build. It's
Yeah.
difficult to build a brand around an everything seller
Yeah.
unless you can kind of figure out some categories that really work for you and then build a brand around them.
Well, or selling yourself, because Whatnot it's a selling platform, but it's also a social media sort of a platform. You're over there, you're selling yourself. Hopefully people will come and enjoy a show, enjoy
Yep.
your banter back and forth with them. Or Jill and I do a lot of the shows together, where we're, kind of
Yeah,
bantering
you're
back
building a
and forth.
personal brand.
Yeah, and hopefully people, enjoy that and come back. And every show that we do, we have our repeat buyers, but I also look at that growth over there. The subscribers, the number of followers that you have, Whatnot is great. The more followers you have, the potential you have for people to maybe see and come and bookmark your shows and watch them. But I kind of gauge a lot of that. I could have 10,000 followers, but if 15 people show up at the show, what good was all the followers? You have to translate that over, and hopefully you're selling decent items, just like on eBay. Hopefully, if you're listing shit on eBay, nobody's going to come and buy that stuff. And the same thing over there. If you're
Oh, yes,
showing
they
decent
will.
items and you're doing it,
People buy
entertaining, and
anything
you're
on
giving,
eBay.
yeah, well, yeah, they will. I'm proof of that. They'll
I think that the problem is on
listed.
eBay, you can list an item, and as long as somebody's looking for that item, they'll find it and they'll
Yeah.
buy it as long as you're priced right.
Yes.
On Whatnot, you have to almost build some kind of a brand, even if it's your personal brand. But when somebody thinks, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go on Whatnot and go check out SSK Promo, what do they think they're getting? And
Yes.
there's no product, there's no category that they're thinking of. So they have to think of you as the entertainment value. I want to watch SSK Promo because his shows are funny. Or
And
he does
it's
this
all
really
the
cool
impulse.
thing.
It's all the impulse, buys.
Well, you can get the
And I
impulse buys,
still,
but you got to get them in there first.
true. And so, impulse buys, we're trying to bring, good stuff over there, decent stuff, things that people would want at a good starting price. And we're still trying to work that out. We're still trying to work out, where do you start? You got some sellers that they do everything dollar starts, and stuff is going, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, $100, on a bid at a dollar start. If I'm doing dollar starts where we're at right now, I'm selling everything for $1. Depending on, again, the style of show and what we're doing makes a difference on whether we're getting those bids. We still get bids from people that are just buying because it's us and they want to help out and stuff, but we're trying to grow that. And some of the things that I've been looking at is every show, I gauge some of the growth on how many new buyers did I have in that show. Okay. And I try to then from that is how many repeat buyers have we had? And if I see new followers, if I see people that might have bought in one show, have they came back? Are they now not a new buyer? Because if you're not hooking some people in and getting them to return or bookmark a show and come back, then you're really not growing.
The worst thing I see on Whatnot, and we've been hopping around on Whatnot more and more. We're not interested in doing Whatnot right now.
Yeah.
It is interesting to us, but we're not ready to move into Whatnot or live selling in any aspect because 100% at some point, Teresa and I would just get in a shouting match in a live. So that's not something we do. We are heavily edited.
I tell you, that happens though. People are, when you got these husband and wife teams and stuff, and they disagree on things, and then you're watching it just watch these people bicker and bitch at each other.
But no, probably the hardest thing to watch on Whatnot, and because we've been kind of hopping around looking at other people's shows, when you go into a show and they got 20, 30 people in the audience, and they're starting everything at $10 and nobody bids on anything.
Yes.
Like, that's the hardest thing to watch because you just feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
And you just can't. I mean, if you don't have the right buyers in there, if they don't know what they're coming to buy and you don't have the right buyers, if they're just there to support you, but you're starting everything at $10, $12, just to watch those guys struggle, it is so hard. Like we've left so many shows because of that, just because everything in their inventory was $10 start.
Yes.
And it was stuff that if anybody else sold it, it would be a $1 start.
And then they would sell it for 15 or 20 on the $1 start. You know, there's a mentality to those starting prices.
You have to get the bids coming.
Enticing. Yes. And that's, we're still figuring this out. Well, okay. So I will say, the shows are so different. I'd said we did 5 shows in the last 4 days. Today I'm looking forward to just taking a break. I'm not thinking anything, whatnot. I'm just going to sit and watch football all afternoon. That's what I'm going to do. And maybe clean up around it in this house. But our worst show, of the last 5, was just our regular show. It wasn't a special show. It wasn't a raid train. It wasn't anything. It wasn't, the attendance was not good. I won't say it's not good because
show?
I appreciate the normal Friday show, which the time frame that we picked is a bad time. 6 o'clock on a Friday, 6 p.m. is not the greatest of times because, well, it's Friday. People are getting off work then. Some people on the West Coast are still at work on a Friday, but it's the schedule that works out for Jill and I for our regular show because of her schedule and such. And so we're doing this together and we're having fun doing it, but And I don't want to say that it was the people that were in attendance for the show, much appreciate them being there. Sales wise, running stuff, attendance of that show was probably the least of all of the shows that we did, but it was the funnest show that we did. Jill and I, we just had fun. I had fun just saying whatever, because it was our show. We weren't representing a raid train. We weren't on any sort of,
generally
of a
like
time
go to the
limit.
zoo or something.
Well,
like when I'm at work, I want to make money.
Well, but when at the end of the day, if you go to the zoo, you don't have any money in your pocket. Okay, I'm not saying we didn't sell anything. You do? Well, how are you making money at the zoo?
Because I'm a good reseller. I make my money so I can afford to go to the zoo.
Well, this is true, which is the difference between Cory and I. Cory is a good reseller.
Well, I'm
a horrible.
I just said
reseller.
I was stuck, so how good could I be? But
so it's that, we're having fun. We are making some money over there.
It's still the Wild West over there,
is the
though.
social media.
That's one of the best things about it right now is it is still the Wild West. You have the freedom to try a lot of different things.
Yes. And we had fun with that show that was just our regular show. The people that were there in the chat, they were engaged. It was fun. Yeah, we did make some money by the end. We did have some sales, but we had a number of those things where you ran item after item after item, and they just weren't selling. They weren't getting any bids. But I enjoyed goofing with the chat, reading through the chat, having fun. It was low key. It was like, again, when you're on a raid train or you're representing somebody that started a raid train, you have a time limit. It's a 30-minute show. It's an hour show. and you have to be done. You have to start on time, you have to be done, and you have to meet the criteria of what the sale is,
That
which
would be
is
crushing for me. Like the running an item or several items in a row that nobody bids on. I don't
yeah,
think I would handle that as well as a lot of the people I would. Like, one, I was born with this face. I know rejection.
unfortunately.
Like, I
Yes.
get rejection, which is why I like eBay, because I can't see all the people that go look at my item and they're like, nah. Like,
Yes.
I don't have to
Yeah.
see that. So if you were on Whatnot and you were putting the items up and it was just no bid, no bid, no bid,
Yeah.
I don't think I would handle
It
that as well as a lot of the people on Whatnot. Like, that would be horrible for me.
it is tough to keep the morale up, to have fun. I keep in perspective, what we're doing and why we're doing it. And it's not my only livelihood. I mean, that's not the sole
No,
way that I'm making money. And that's, I look at that. We are building, we are growing, we are doing, gaining some momentum and some traction, and some shows are better
you've
than
grown a
others.
lot in a
But
short amount of time too.
yeah, I'm very pleased with that. And like I say, that's one avenue for how I'm making money. Now, if I can get all of my avenues to all go, basically I'm in a cul-de-sac right now. I'm just doing this. I'm just
You just
going
do cookies.
around and around, and there's no parking in a cul-de-sac, unless you park in the driveway.
I was going to say,
At a
unless you're a
sale.
driveway parker, Ken.
But so yeah, that's enough about Whatnot. But that's a direction that we're going. Not all the eggs are not in that basket, but right now, let's say at least this last week, there was a lot of prep, a lot of setup, a lot of getting things ready for special shows, and not building that brand. It was building more of the SSK promo. Hey, did you come and did you enjoy the show? And am I your cup of tea? Believe it or not, Corey, I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
I would never believe it.
And so you might
That's
come to
just
the show
nonsense.
and maybe I have good items that show, but you're like, Ken, all right. And other shows, it's like you're thoroughly entertaining. You're just enjoying the entertainment. You're spending some time watching the show. You didn't even intend to buy anything.
I'll tell you the secret. Like, if you think of Ken like a cup of apple cider and Coke Zero, it's better in moderation. Take a sip every now and then, but then dump it down the sink and leave it alone for a while.
Like,
And then come back, take a sip.
there you go. That's me. That's me in a nutshell.
It's all moderation.
Oreo Coke Zero. Man.
How close are we to the first beard bleaching?
Well, you know what?
Is that November time?
It would normally be. So here's the Santa. Let me find where my mouse is. Let me pop this. So here's the Santa beard on September the what would this be?
29th.
September the 30th. Today's the 29th.
30th. Yes.
So it's coming along pretty good. Well, because I pitched that a lot, the seasonal Santa, we do the What's in Santa sack on all of the Whatnot shows. I actually might be bleaching it out earlier this year in the season. Normally it's not till like Thanksgiving, but I think for some of those shows and pitching that, it would almost, I'm not sure, because almost at that point it would be a marketing thing, and I don't do the whole Santa thing as a marketing thing. I do it for the fun and for the spirit of it, and to bring a little bit of happiness and maybe a smile to someone's face during the Christmas season.
I just like how you say "What's in Santa's sack" with a straight face, and it's never turned into a big joke, because that's perfect.
It does. It does. It gets innuendo for sure. And on our shows, What's in Santa's sack is usually we're not bringing junk in What's in Santa's sack. There's usually, and who's ever bidding on it, a lot of times it is the highest bidded item on the show, because
so you get the sack and then the junk is separate.
Yeah. 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 I get that, right? But so yeah, that's cool. What else? I was looking over and seeing if I had jotted down a couple things to talk about.
We can ask a question. I don't know if you'll know. Maybe you'll know this. Maybe you have a setup for it.
Let's see.
Coats and shirts and pants, clothes in general. We don't do a lot of clothes.
Okay.
we have several in the store. When we find really good vintage clothes and stuff, we buy them. But photographing clothes, we don't have a setup for that. And I know everybody
Yeah.
talks about a flat lay. Excuse me. I know everybody talks about doing a flat lay and stuff like that. We went and looked at a lot of the pictures of our clothes in our store,
Okay.
and I can kind of see why they're not selling great, because they're hanging all wrinkled on a mannequin, or they're laid out on a flat surface, but they're just not like ironed out, looking real nice. Like, how
Okay.
do people get good photos of clothing?
Well, I
Are
think
people like ironing the shirts and stuff ahead of time?
I think if you're a full time, if you're making your money off of the clothing and stuff, that's where you're at. I think a lot of those people probably are. I don't know. I will if I'm really going in to do clothing and I want really nice pictures, I will steam them. I'm not ironing them on an ironing board, but I will steam all the wrinkles out.
Like, just
My
the position
setup,
to put them in is
yeah.
I can't even fold a t-shirt, so I'm gonna have to learn from the beginning. Actually, this might be a good, if you're a clothing seller, if you sell mainly
Yes.
clothes and you have good pictures and do well with them, put your eBay store link in the comments so I can go look at your store and just look at your pictures.
Yes.
Like, that would be
Yes.
super helpful, because I can kind of mimic what somebody else does. I just don't even know what good clothing pictures look like.
Yeah, I will do I can't say that mine are stellar, but I do have a well, my photo table is an old drafting table. So it's about 3 foot by 5 foot, almost 4 by 5 foot drafting table. So it raises up at
Okay.
an angle at any height that you want. So anytime I am going to do photographs, I raise that table up, and I bought one of those pieces of material. I can't think of what it's called, but you get it, Joanne's. You see everybody that
Yeah,
showed
like
one
the
of
fleece.
those. Yeah, something like that, where you can lay it on there. It's at an angle, so you're kind of shooting with your camera almost straight across. It's like the flat lay. So, and it gives it a little bit of an angle. And I try to, set the shirt on there, just kind of hand smooth out things. I'll turn the sleeves in on long sleeve stuff, or pants and stuff, because pants are too long.
That
And
was
you know,
those are different. Like, we had a pair of vintage garage gas station coveralls with like the Amoco patch on it.
yeah,
The picture for those, for our main picture, is just ridiculous, because you're trying to get the whole coverall in it. So
yeah,
it's really narrow and tall, and like, how to
yeah.
get a good picture of those, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think most people know that it's a full coverall. If I were let's say I was doing a coverall, or if I'm doing pants, I'm going to
Just
put
take
that
like
on that
a
flat lay.
square shot of the chest.
Well, I'll take the legs of them. I'll fold the legs up so that so it's almost like halfway on the. You're only taking a picture of the half of it, but people can see it's a long length garment. I'll do this with the sleeves, so they're not out like this. It makes it a whole lot easier to take the photo, if they're in.
So that's why just some good photo examples would be so helpful.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you're taking pictures and you're just frustrated. And like, I was about ready to turn those into just a pair of Dickies Daisy Dukes and just cut the legs off.
Just
They were summer coveralls.
oh, they're the old Amoco Daisy Dukes. That's funny. It's so yeah, there's a lot, if I have really nice stuff, I am going to steam wrinkles out of that. If it's a high dollar thing, if I'm selling like average everyday clothes and it's going to be, your $10-15 shirt or something like that, I'm not doing that. But if I am selling a higher end item or something,
Yeah, we're gonna do more research.
I just sold I'm gonna tell you, I just sold I don't know if it was higher end, but this was a clothing one that I got a neutral feedback. I had this it was an old Cleveland Indians. It was a like a starter like a puffer jacket. I was trying to look at it. Yeah, vintage. It was reversible puffer kind of a coat.
That'd be cool.
And it was cool. And it sold for like almost $150, $148.99 or whatever it sold. I had bought it at the thrift store for like $13. And it sold, but it was an international sale. And went to
That's
Tokyo.
a good thing, ain't it?
Well, yeah, it does help because, as far as not being
No
able to
returns.
return things and stuff like that. But I got a neutral feedback from the buyer.
What did
Okay.
it say?
Well, I don't know. Well, I do know, but I don't know because the feedback is all in Japanese.
Oh, so
There's
just got
like
hieroglyphics back?
all the hieroglyphic. Okay, there's like there's like, I don't know. We even went I'm looking at it over on this screen. Is that like a house with a goat in it or something like that? And there's there's like a little guy and a bunch
House
of
with a
squiggly
goat
lines.
in it.
So nobody's going to be able to read what the feedback says. All they can see is that it was a neutral. So I did
I wish
go.
all my negative and neutrals were in a different language. That'd be fantastic.
It might be helpful, but if somebody's looking at that, well, the neutrals don't count against my like 100% feedback. So, but it just bothersome to me. So I did do Google Translate. I did Google Translate, and
Anything about a goat in the house?
However, it did not. It does not say anything, but it says that the shipping cost was high, and it was bigger than I expected. The condition of the product was good. Okay, so if somebody did read it, they can see that, and they can see that it's in Japanese writing, and they can see all that stuff. Okay, the product was good, but as far as purchasing it and the shipping cost was high.
Well, you ordered from the other side of the world.
Yeah, and there was no secret as to what the shipping would be. When you bought it, you knew what the shipping was going to be.
But apparently a US large and a Tokyo large are not the same kind of large.
Exactly. And okay, so I have photographs, I have measurements, I have everything that I did, all my stuff on my listing. I can't help it that your shipping cost was high. You knew what it was going to be when you bought it. And when you get an article of clothing, yeah, everything, one extra large is not the same size as another extra large in a different brand. And especially when you go international.
Your measurements were in inches. So they may have mistranslated those.
Is that my fault?
Absolutely.
I have to interpret all this metric stuff. I have to go in and I have to say, oh, that metric is, it's like the Eastern time zone. To me, the world runs on the Eastern time zone. The world should run on
Central.
Inches and feet and pounds and miles and
I'm with you on that. I mean, you're putting the measurement out there, and it was for sale primarily in the U.S., but you do have a global market. I wouldn't translate them to the metric system either. Like, they are what they are. If they're going to buy it, it's their job to know.
Yes.
Or so I mean that's not a problem. That's a feature. When I buy something that's too large, that means I can eat more Twinkies. It's a feature. It's not a problem. He just misunderstood the American system.
That's right. Just eat more.
Yes.
And then if it doesn't fit because you ate too much Twinkies, then you sell it on eBay and you flat lay it on an angle, iron out the wrinkles a little bit.
The metric system.
Snap a photo. And I don't even like to do clothing. I've got all this clothing.
I'm not a fan of clothes either.
I got all this stuff back here.
But I could not walk past that, like that jacket. If I saw that, I couldn't walk past it. I don't like clothing, but I'm going to buy that 10 out of 10 times.
Every time. And I took the time that day. I did a whole bunch of other, they were all coats, all winter, or heavier jackets and coats that day. So I took the time to get my table propped up, get it thing. And then I photograph a bunch of clothing together. And those pictures, actually, I used, Photoshop on that picture because it was a reversible jacket. And I used the photo room or whatever, and had the main photo was a side by side of.
See, we just had something in common there, and you ruined it.
Uh-oh.
You said you used Photoshop. I thought I was the only one that still used Photoshop.
Oh,
but you weren't even meaning Photoshop.
No, I used to use Photoshop when I worked at
I still use it all the time. It's just what I'm used to.
Yeah, I use Corel Photo Paint when I do a lot of stuff, but if I'm doing it quick on my phone, I use the Photo Room. Photo Room, you can take out those backgrounds and stuff real quick, add your own backgrounds, do all kinds of stuff.
I try to use Canva for a lot of our thumbnails and stuff, but one, they just made an update, but two, the other day I was trying to play around and make an image in Canva, and it took me 30 minutes to figure out how to crop an image. Like that's That drives me crazy. So I just saved it and pulled it into Photoshop and cropped it there. Like it should be that's a very basic feature, crop. That shouldn't be hidden.
Yes, I agree. There are some programs. It's like, why do you have to make it so difficult? Why is it just not here? Boom, make this smaller or move this around.
Now we're sounding like grumpy old guys, but seriously, crop. That should be like the second button.
It should. I agree with that. I got distracted there for a second. Actually, I was writing on my notes. I was trying to think about what we talked about.
Well, this is the end of the show. You're not supposed to write notes at the end of the show.
Well, because I was trying to think of what we had talked about, and
nothing important.
Nothing important at all, except for Cory's anniversary 52nd 1 year episode.
We'll give you the rundown. We got the anniversary. We've got Planes to Profit. We talked a little bit about reselling. We talked about the fact that I'm a bad reseller and I'm stuck. Yes. We had a too long whatnot section. And then we had a little bit about clothing. We're struggling with clothing photos.
Yes.
We covered the gambit today. We got everything.
But the note that I wrote down right here was that the StreamYard pricing was going up. That was what was important, because that's going to take money out of my pocket if I don't. It's like
$49 a month or something.
Yeah, because I think right now it's what, like 25 or something.
Yeah, I think they're going to like $49 or something like that. It's almost double in price. So yeah, we may have a StreamYard logo on here, or we may have to find a different platform.
Yeah, if anybody else is using a different platform, the StreamYard is just so easy.
I know you could do it with OBS.
Okay.
Like you could do that.
Yeah.
That's always an option. So
I don't know.
Oh, we may have to look at different options. We may lose some of our fancy features here.
Yeah, which fancy features are we using?
For the lives. Pinning the comments on the screen and doing your live streams right through here and all that.
That's right.
Like that would affect the lives more than anything.
Or just easily like changing the background to the full background if we wanted to.
Well, you can do backgrounds and stuff in OBS too, but
all right. Now we're just rambling, Cory. So
they're getting an inside look at behind the podcast. We're going
to end this one. If you're here this long, if you didn't pause earlier and go to planetoprofit.com right now, as soon as this ends, go over to planetoprofit.com, get your tickets for this year's event, which is March, 28th, 29th?
28th, 29th,
2025. So get those early, because they are going to go very, very quickly. Yep. You want to get that, or if you want to go over and help out and be a sponsor when you're at Planes to Profit, you can click on that. As there's different, I think, levels of the sponsorship, yep. Where you get your name and your logo and stuff on different aspects, different backgrounds, different things depending on levels of stuff. But check that out too, and send Cory all your ideas on how to be a better seller.
Yep. He would help a guy out here.
That's right. So we will catch you next week on the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.